Well, hello, friends. David Nuno, Mike Lucas here for TexAgs Rewind, presented by T-Mobile. They want to remind you to visit T-Mobile.com/across America to learn how you get more value and coverage through T-Mobile. Mike Lucas's final TexAgs Rewind as he's moving to Cleveland. We're going to miss you, brother. What is the biggest takeaway of this Aggie basketball team you have seen thus far?
They never give up, and the buzz process works. It may not be pretty in the beginning, but this team and these players have gotten better and better and better each and every week to the point now they're playing like a top 25 team in America.
Yeah, they're absolutely playing like a top 25 team. We had Buzz on the show. He talked a little bit about moving ahead in the NIT, taking on Wake Forest, and, of course, looking back at the Oregon game. Schloss came on the show to talk about winning that series in Baton Rouge. Huge weekend. Bronny joined me for that one. We did around Aggieland and Billy.Liucci.com. He joined us to talk all things sports and including a little Batman as well. It is TexAgs Rewind, brought to you by T-Mobile. So let's I guess we'll start off with what we just saw this past weekend. Was that the most complete performance you've seen this season from your team?
It would sure rank up there. I thought we played really good. I thought our spirit was right. Our energy was good. I thought we had productive minutes regardless of who it was. I thought they played to the scouting report. Our staff did a fabulous job in giving our guys just enough to kind of understand how unique Oregon was. You know, the offense is Coach Altman installed that at Creighton literally 30 years ago. A lot of layers to it. And then defensively, you know, they have zone pressure in the full court, back to zone in the half court, and then they started within the possession, changing it to man. I thought our guys were in a really good groove. Was it the best? It would be in the mix. But it was, I think they knew it too. I think they knew they were in a good groove. And when guys were subbing in and out, they wanted to hold themselves accountable to that same level of excellence. So that's always a good sign.
Coach, when you get done with the weekend, and I know you'll probably deflect this, but you got some stuff right. As managerial decisions, you made some really key ones. 4 outfielders against Jacob Berry, going to Robert Hogan when you did. I mean, was it something that it feels to me when I was watching, it's like, man, everybody's kind of feeding off of each other. When you make those moves and they work out, it helps that dugout vibe and momentum as well, right?
Yeah. You know, I learned a long time ago, just because you make a move and it works doesn't mean it was if it didn't work, doesn't mean it was the wrong move, right? I did the same thing. I think that was actually against Cruz on Saturday when I did that. And then I did it against Barry yesterday. And of course the guy hit the ground ball right where Boast would have been standing. Barry's a little bit, he's a heady guy, and I probably shouldn't have done that with 2 strikes, but I only did it to Cruz because it was a 3-1 count. And I was like, if you want to hit a ground ball to second base with 2 outs for a single, have at it. But I don't want you to get an extra base hit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when that happened, and then the very next pitch or the pitch right after, the guy hit the liner right to Boast where he didn't even have to take a step to catch it. You know, everybody was just dying laughing in the dugout and fired up. So yeah, I mean, it was, who knows what the season's going to look like, but we grew as a team this weekend, just being together in that environment. Obviously the success helps. But I can tell you, it was a championship dugout to be a part of.
Schloss, in postgame, you said you learned a lot about your team. What can you share with us that you did learn about this team this weekend?
Which is exactly what I said earlier, that they do have it in them to be a grittier bunch, to fight with 2 strikes, to pull for each other. And I'm not saying they weren't doing those things prior to this weekend, but I'm not quite sure there was complete and total buy-in. When you see a guy like Logan Britt had as good a weekend as anybody on this team offensively. I think he may have only had 2 or 3 hits to show for it, but he was staying on baseballs. He was laying off balls down. He was getting his swing off in hitters' counts. If he took a bad swing, he was moving on to the next pitch. All of these things that we've just been trying to get across to everybody, and they executed it, and so and they had some good things to show for it. So let's see. Let's don't go crazy over one weekend, and we know what this league and college baseball is about. But I just learned that they're fully capable of being a competitive team in this conference. We have to pitch better. I don't think any starter made it to the fifth inning. I don't think. Maybe in the sixth, but we have to get better pitching overall. But then you look at the defense. Bo's coming in and playing a solid second base. Targo making some plays. That's not necessarily his best position. If we can get Werner back in the next, 10 days, 2 weeks, then we'll take our chances. I like our team.
All right, Sam, what's going on around Aggieland?
So y'all have already touched on the basketball side, defeating Oregon, getting Wake Forest here Wednesday, 6 p.m. on ESPN2. Buzz Williams and Steve Forbes, old Texas A&M assistants under Billy Gillespie, already got into that. In the next hour, we'll get to baseball and talking to Coach Schlossnagle, getting their series victory over number 13 LSU. Here's a surprising stat for you. They had 17 hits in Game 3, only scored 6 runs, but they had double-digit hits in all those games. So the hitting was really good this past weekend in Baton Rouge. And then also another Diamond Sport, A&M softball lost to number 5 Florida. They did pick up their first SEC win on Saturday thanks to Mackenzie Herzog's 3-hit shutout, had 15 Ks in that performance. So great start from her. They'll take on HBU Wednesday at 6 p.m. and then travel to Georgia this weekend for their three games. Women's tennis continuing their hot streak, defeating Vanderbilt and Kentucky 6-1 Friday and Sunday. They're undefeated in SEC play, 6-0. For the first time, this Aggie team has accomplished that feat since the 2013 SEC regular season championship, where they rallied 8 straight league wins. So Matiana Makarova has been the catalyst for it. She becomes the 4th Aggie in school history to earn over 100 career doubles wins. And to notch that on the individual side, she's got 92 career individual wins. So she's doing it from both the doubles and singles side. Men's tennis suffered their first SEC loss at University of Kentucky, lost to the 13th ranked Wildcats 6-1. They'll get double headers Friday and Sunday here in College Station. Prairie View A&M and number 4 Tennessee on Friday, and number 8 Georgia and UTSA Sunday. And then finally on the links, women's golf finished tied for 4th in the Mountain View Collegiate, their 6th top 5 finish this season. And then Jenny Park led the way, tied for 10th at 6 under. She's had 9 straight rounds under par and has been the tournament leader for the Aggies in 3 straight tournaments and 3 straight top 10 finishes. So great stuff all around Aggieland for Aggie sports. And I mean, this weekend, I've already looked at the schedule. It's going to be very jam-packed with so much action all around here and Aggieland, as well as across the country.
Billy, Eli Holstein decommits over the weekend. I think it was Friday. I can't remember the days.
It seems like a week ago. Yeah,
it does. Just take me through your thoughts here, and it's very early in the process, and A&M's still in the mix, but just kind of talk me through it.
I'm not sure I wouldn't stop recruiting him in this, and this is me.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the players, and one of them being Oregon. You've got some recruiting guys over there that were here, and so you got LSU with the new coaching stuff, although they've got their guy. And I know A&M won't stop recruiting him, and they'll be there. But to me, just my vibe on the whole thing and the way it kind of played out and just kind of happened like that, I don't feel like you go and get a guy like that back typically. I think he has probably studied the quarterback position and pecking order here. even though it hasn't changed any. I mean, you added Max Johnson, who's going to be so much older
Right.
when a guy like Eli gets there. But I think, he picks A&M and does it honestly and sincerely and gets a target put on his back that every school can now recruit against. And you show them the depth chart, and you show them Wigman was a 5-star, and you show them that Haynes King is, really, if Haynes wanted to be, he would be a second-year quarterback right now with 4 years of eligibility still to go. So, so you start pointing those things out, and you can chip away. And I think teams were able to chip away enough for him to open it back up. And I think with all his knowledge of A&M and their situation and everything and how many times he'd been here, for him to take the step to decommit, I don't think you burn up a lot of time trying to get a guy like that back. And with that said, I think he's an incredible talent. I think he's a winner. I think he's a great player and a leader. He checks all the boxes for me. That doesn't change the fact that I think, first of all, he's a better prospect than Arch Manning, who's more. Arch is really good. Don't take this the wrong way, because obviously Texas fans will. But I'm not coming off that stance that I thought Eli Holstein, if you line those two guys up, let them throw, watch what they've done in high school, watch them throw on air, look at them athletically, and tell me where Manning charts better if neither one of them had a name. So I think he's elite, an elite prospect, but I also think there are a lot of QBs out there this year that A&M's in on, and Howell and Bronny have given a lot of names so far.
Yeah.
And the Aggies seem to have just said, okay, next man up, let's go.
All right, want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. And Mike, man, it's been a pleasure, privilege, and awesome to work with you these last few months, man. We're going to miss you.
Same thing goes to you, David, the rest of the TexAgs community, family, and really Aggieland and as a whole for welcoming me with open arms from a kid from New Jersey, made Texas a second home. Can't say thank you enough.
All right, give me some pound. All right, as awkward as that was, that was a terrible ending. All right, that's Mike. I'm David. See ya.